So the Detroit Lions made not really a splash, but they filled a position of need. And I have been saying for a while that we need a wide receiver. It's not about being right. Sometimes, I mean, who doesn't want to be right, right? But we needed a position of need. Now that position may have come because of the departure of Marvin Jones. But Brad Holmes said something yesterday, and we're going to take a listen to it. This was after the trade deadline. This was before the trade deadline. It was an hour left, and I want you to, it was during the press conference. Brad Holmes, it's funny because last year, that very day, not very day, but the trade deadline, we were trading TJ Hawkinson and Brad showed up. We were 1-6 and Brad showed up, and then he disappears for the rest of the season. And I expect him to do that this year. But this is what Brad Holmes said as the trade deadline approaches before the press conference with Dan Campbell.
Just hot off the press. So we just traded with the Cleveland Browns for Donovan Peoples-Jones, wide receiver. Literally just happened. So, we're still kind of, but it's been sitting, but want to make sure you guys know. We're excited about the kid. He's had good production in the past. He'll be a good fit here. He's been a high character kid. Obviously, he's from Michigan. He's from Detroit. He's a local kid, so I think he'll be very, very happy. I just talked to the kid. He's fired up about getting this process going, and we all these moves that we make is always for the best thing for the franchise, best thing for the team, and that's every single move we make. So that's the best way I can sum it up of the reason why. And take any questions you got. 2025 6th-round pick.
And are you done making moves, or are you still looking to add a pass rusher?
We don't have much time left, so probably that might be it.
What does Donovan add to your receiver room that you feel like you needed?
Yeah, well, he brings versatility. He's a big guy. He's got good contested catch skills. He can play outside. He can play inside. He's a very smart player. He's been very, very durable. He fits everything that we're about. So I think he'll fit in just fine. He's another flavor that we're adding to our mix. And so it's a lot of things that he can do for us. And we'll just see how quickly we can get him acclimated.
Why did you want to upgrade that position? Why did you want to upgrade that position if that was a specific area that you were targeting instead of maybe some other spots?
Well, I mean, obviously we, Marvin had to step away, so we were down a receiver, period. So we had to look to add another one regardless. There's a lot of different avenues that you can take, so this is the one that we chose.
Looking at, defensive line, cornerbacks, how active
we look at every position. A lot of these names that you might see pop up, they look good in the media, and they are names, but that's often it's not reality. Those same names that you see pop up, when you start getting into conversations, it just doesn't work out for the best for us. Every team has a different plight. Every team's in a different place, different direction, different phase in their team building. But no, there's nothing that we leave unturned or ignored or anything. We look at every position, we look at everything, and this was the best one for us.
All right, thanks, guys.
That's good. Thanks.
All right, and that was Brad Holmes yesterday. That was at 3:00, and he got up right before Dan Campbell took the stage. And then after that, Dan Campbell tells the media that he trusts Brad Holmes. Like, we've heard that a ton of times. It was a lot of things I picked up from there. First of all, Brad Holmes sounded like he was disappointed, kind of mildly irritated, something he wanted to do something, but it didn't work out. Was that person Chase Young? Was it Daniil Hunter? Was it Brian Burns? We don't know. I'm sure something will come out in the next few days, like they tried to get this guy. And to be honest with you, that's all I want to hear. That's all I want to hear is that he tried to make things better, which he did for the wide receiver room. Now, Marvin Jones left. He said that we needed to basically fill the void left by Marvin Jones. And DPJ is he's going to be good. He's going to be good. He is going to bring something that we don't have a lot of right now, which is a threat down the field. Jared Goff likes the off the play action pass, and now you got the threat of Jameson Williams and DPJ down the field. Yes, I trust Brad is okay with mediocrity on the D line. Brad Campbell, yeah. Even though I was bummed a bit yesterday, I love MCDC's comments when the media asked him about the team's additions. Good for them. In other words, who cares about other teams? Respect that. I mean, you know what? I would have said the same thing, bro. I would have been like, all right, you know what I'm saying? Good for them. I mean, it might have been a little saltiness in his voice, but they're going to say what they need to say. But I saw a lot, read through that, a lot of that stuff. The issues remain the same, though. So Brad's comments of all that stuff, and was he talking about Chase Young? It sounds like, because right after that, a article, which I thought was very suspicious. It was weird to me. Right after Chase Young is traded to the San Francisco 49ers, like they need 2 Ohio State Buckeyes on their team. But right after he was traded, all these articles come out about what GMs and internal conversations have been on Chase Young, his discipline, his work ethic, his inability. He wants to kind of make splash plays, so he might do something he's not supposed to do. And that was exactly what Dan Campbell said he doesn't want. So it was real weird, the timing of that whole thing. It doesn't mean that our defensive line is better. That's it. We have one additional piece that's not playing. His name is James Houston. That's it. And James Houston, is he a difference maker? I don't think so. But he's all we have at this point. But what I heard in that entire 2.5-minute segment is that Brad wanted something to happen. And I do believe, and all I want is to know he tried. That's all I want to know. Because if he tried, that means, because sometimes you can try, but your hands are tied, right? When they took over for year one, they had probably the hardest job in the NFL, which was to take the Matt Patricia Detroit Patriots and turn them into their own organization, their own team. We had 15 or 17 Patriots at one point. So I commend these guys, and I just want to know that they saw what we saw, that they didn't get kind of okey-doked by the defensive pass rush. And I have to believe that if this guy is the general manager that we believe he can be, he saw it too. And I think listening to his voice and the disappointment in his voice, he's not going to say, oh, we tried to get these things. We're not going to say that. You're not going to tell the guys on your team, hey, you guys don't have what it takes to win. I'm going to say that. Basement GMs are going to say that, but he's not going to say that. So I really do not envy his position. I feel like he wanted to make something happen, but we just couldn't get it done. So we'll see how that goes. But let me know what you think.